So welcome to our YouTube video on the Salome software shaper module. In this video, we will explore the basics of how to edit and open the Salome software. So to open the Salome software, click on the Salome icon and it will launch. Once the software is open, you will need to select a module. So in this tutorial, we will select the shaper module and this action will open the shaper module. So now if you want to change the background to black, right click and select change background. This action will prompt a dialog box for background settings. So in this dialog, select the first color and you can choose the different color if you want. So here I will select black and I'll select here and change to black. Click the OK and you can see that the color is changed to black. Now right click and select selection mode. So here you can see you can select vertices, edges, faces and solids. So now I'll click vertices. Here you can see I can only select vertices from the view. Clicking on it will select vertices. So right click and select hide all. So it hides all the objects in the 3D view. So this black view is the OCC 3D view. So clicking on the eye icon will display the objects in the view. So you can see these are the 3D view operations. So right click and select the 3D view operations and this will hide the 3D view from the menu bar. So the next one is dump view. Right clicking also provides the option for dump view. Simply clicking on it, it will open a window and there is no need to select the dump from the part toolbar. So now click on the object and then right click and select wireframe, which will generate the wireframe representation for the selected object. So if you want to remove the wireframe, right click and select shading. This action will revert the object to its original appearance. Now if we want to know the direction of each edge from this object, right click and select edges direction. Now it will display the direction for each edge with arrow symbol. Now if I select again, it hides the edge direction. So we can also change the color of the object. Right click and select color. Now you can see that the color dialog box is prompted. Click on this color box. So from the set of colors you can pick any of the color you want to choose, or if you want to choose the color you wish, select other colors. And in this color panel I will set it to blue and change the color sequence to dark. You can add it to the custom colors. Click on add to custom colors for the further use and click OK and you can see that the object color is changed to blue. So you have the option to set the deflection, and clicking on it will change the deflection setting. So this deflection setting is often used for visualization purposes. Right click and select transparency. Here you can set transparency from 0 to 100. So here I will set the transparency to 69 and click OK button. This will display a transparent view of the object, so allowing us to see what's inside of this object. Right click and select ISOs, which will display isolines or edges on the faces of 3D objects. So here I will select this face and it will display isolines, which is used to visualize and understand the shape curvature. So now right click and select define isos. So here we can edit the U and V parameters. So I will set the U parameter to 4 and V parameter to 2 and click the apply button. Now you can check the result. Right click and select ISOs. Now the ISOs will display it here. Now you can adjust the view for the object. Right click and select set by normal to a face. In this case, select inverted to normal of a face. So in this case, I will select the object cylinder, which you can either choose from the view or from the object browser. Right click and select show only. So this object will display only the selected object, which is the cylinder, and the remaining objects will be hide. And right click and select hide all. This will hide all the objects. So if you wish to edit the geometry, you can do so. From the object browser, I will select cylinder, right click and select the edit. So here I want to change the height of the cylinder to 30 and click the apply button. You can also rename the geometry in the object browser. So I will select this box, right click and choose rename, and I will type solid. You can also delete geometrical entities from the object browser. So in this example, I will select this object, right click and select the delete option. This will automatically remove the object. So you can select clean history, which will delete the history. Here I will right click and select clean history and click the S. So now I want to create a folder in the object browser. So to create a folder, I will select the object sphere and right click and select insert a folder before, and this will create the folder about the object sphere. Now I want the object sphere to move into folder 1. So I'll click on sphere and click move into the previous folder. And now I'll select the option move out before the folder, and this will move the object above the folder. So now if you select move out of the folder, it will remove object from the folder and place it outside of the folder. So click on it and select move out of the folder. So from the main menu bar, select Help. This will open a drop-down menu where you can find a list of Salome websites. So here I will choose Salome website, and on the home page you can explore the Salome functionalities, domains, and you can also download the Salome software. And you can access the Salome forum here. So now I will select the Salome forum, and this will open the Salome forum, and where you can check the software updates and ask questions if you have any. So Salome provides video tutorials to help users understand the software. So I will select video tutorials, and this will open a list of videos posted on YouTube. So here I'll select User's Guide, where you can find a detailed documentation for the Salome software. So it provides a step-by-step guide on how to use each tool. So here I'll select Shaper module, and it provides documentation for different modules. So you can also select the help option here, and this will provide you a step-by-step guide on how to use each tool. Now here I will select Developer's Guide. It includes the information about the software's architecture, coding, conventions, and other development workflows. And the next one is Developer Resources. Select About here. You can find the information about the version of the Salome software you are using. So in my case, I am using version 9.10. To view 3D view operations, right click and select 3D view operations, and this action will display 3D view operations. So the first option is dump view. It exports an object from the view in formats like BMP, PNG, or other image format. So the second option is interaction style switch. If you select this, you can operate using the mouse without the help of keyboard. So in this mode, the leftmost button is for rotation, and clicking it allows you to rotate the object, and the middle button is for panning, enabling you to move the object, and the rightmost click is used for zooming in and out. The next one is enable or disable selection in the view. So here I will select this object and select enable or disable, and this will be unable to select the object. So we can select an object in the view by clicking on it with the leftmost button. So here we have the options for selection: rectangle and polygon, and the last one is circle. So now I will draw a rectangle, and the object is selected now. Now I will select polyline, and to draw it, first draw the first line and press the spacebar. Similarly, draw another line and press spacebar. After draw the polyline, and the object gets selected. So the next one is circle. Click once on the view, and which the leftmost button, draw a circle until you reach the desired radius to select the circle. So if I select trihedron, it will display the coordinate axis. By selecting the object from the object browser, we can see the x, y and z axis for the object. Now I will click again to hide the trihedron. Now I will select fit all. It scales the object. And the next one is fit selection. It is used to fit the view to the current sketch. So here I will select this and this fits the view. So the next one is fit area. So here I'll draw a rectangle here to select it and select the fit, and this will show the edge which I selected. So the next one is zoom in and out. So by clicking the leftmost, I will zoom in and zoom out. So in this case, the object is larger than the visible area, so I cannot move the object. By leftmost clicking alone, now I will select the panning, and this will help me to drag and see the parts of the object. So again I will click on it and move the object. So next one is change rotation point. So you can change the rotation and set it to origin, and you can select center of point to point, edge or face. And the rotation is used to rotate the selected objects in the view. By lifting mouse click, I will rotate this object. So we have the options here to view the object in different orientations. So I'll click the first one, which is the minus OX view, and the second one is plus OX, and the third one is minus OZ, and this is the plus OZ view, and this is plus OY view, and the last one is minus OY view. So we have the next one to rotate counterclockwise, and the next one is rotate clockwise. So click on it, it will change the direction of the view. So the next one is orthographic projection. Clicking on it will change the view. So the next one is perspective view. And you can see the stereo projection for this object. And the next one is reset. So it reset the view in the OCC view, memorize view. So clicking on it will save the view. So here I'll click on the memorize view. So the next one is restore view. So this option restores the saved position of objects in the scene. So here from the restore property panel, I'll select the option and click OK and it restores the position. And the next one is clone view, and selecting a clone view will open a duplicate scene. So here you can see there are two scenes. The next one is clipping. So clipping is used to create a cross section planes for mesh entities. So now to create clipping plane, select new. So it is defined by absolute or relative coordinates. Here I will select relative. So here I will change x to z coordinates to 25 and click the apply button. So here you can view how the mesh is generated here. The next one is scaling, and scaling defines the object along the axis of coordinates. Here I change the x, y and z coordinates and it stretched the object. And the next one is graduated axis. So it is used to define the axis parameter and graduate them. Here name allows to rename the axis. If you want, you can rename the axis. So here font allows to define the font color for the axis name. Here we have x, y and z axis, and number is used to define number of labels, and offset defines the distance between the axis and labels, and the length is used to define the length of the tick marks. And you can see that the graduate axis. So the next one is toggle keep only ambient light. So if I select it, on or off ambient light. So the next is the minimize. After selecting it, property panel is open. So we have three types. So here I will select the second one and click the apply button. So you can see it opened two OCC views. And the next one is synchronized view, and this allows to synchronize 3D view parameters. So we have ray tracing, and clicking on it will open the property panel. So it is used to produce images with photorealistic quality, and here depth defines the maximum ray tracing depth. So the next one is environment texture, and this allows you to set parameters for environment texture, and clicking on it will open a dialog box here, and I will activate it to environment texture, and I'll select the parameters from the list. So you can also select an image from the computer. So the last one is light source, and it is used to set parameters for the light source, and we can set the light source as directional or positional. A directional light source creates a light source defined by direction coordinates, So you can set the color. So and the positional light creates an isolated light. So here I'll set parameters for positional and then I click the apply and close button to save the changes. And this is the end of the video and thanks for watching.